wild ride for everybody. It got a lot harder than it had to be, but I'll tell you what, I give NC State a lot of credit. They were a talented team, made a lot of plays. Quarterback's a very good football player. They could have folded the 10 up. We really extended that lead, and they could have easily just kind of folded the 10. They didn't do that, and they fought back hard and really challenged us all the way through. Proud of our guys, outstanding job by our team and our staff. There was a lot of things going on in the course of the game, and thought our players and staff adjusted very well to some things. It's a great finish to our ACC season. You know, third year in 4 years now to be able to have a trophy, and you know, that's a great accomplishment by this team. Heck, we won the league with 6-2 last year. We're 7-1. Improved the record and didn't get it done, but we co-champs, and really proud of our guys for that. We set the season record for ACC wins at Clemson. We, you know, 10th regular season win for the first time in 31 years is. I mean, it's really hard when I even say that to believe that that's the case. But that's not an easy thing to do. If it had been done somewhere along the way in 31 years. And so I'm just proud of our guys. They just continue to set the bar high. They continue to achieve at a high level, and back-to-back 10+ win seasons. That hadn't happened here since '89-90. But I got to give a lot of credit to this senior group. You know, when I talk about this senior group, those 8 guys that were redshirted when I got this job, that were redshirt freshmen my first year in '09, and those 3 true seniors, Meeks, Malachi, and Carrico. You know, with what we've been able to do in 4 years, what they've been able to do in 4 years, and really, you know, kind of transforming Clemson and making us relevant again. I remember sitting in all their homes and talking about that. Hey, here's the vision, here's the plan. This is what I think we can do. And 4 years later, you know, that senior group, they got the longest home winning streak ever. Most wins since the group of 91 seniors, class of '91. Most conference wins in Clemson history to win today. I mean, listen, those guys deserve a ton of credit because, you know, they really have just knocked the lid off of this program. For whatever reason, there was a certain level that this program achieved to. We couldn't really ever seem to get beyond that for a long, long time. It was almost like, well, this is as good as we can be. And that was kind of, it became a mentality. And those players have changed that mentality. And I'm just really proud of this senior group. It's a special group. Offensively, Taj was incredible. Taj, 8 touchdowns, ACC record, 529 yards of total offense, set by Woody Danzler. He broke that. First time in the history of the school to have 200-yard rushers and 200-yard receivers in a game. You know, new career record. Dalton, most plays ever. School record, 103 snaps, 754 yards of offense. I just thought they were outstanding. But my favorite thing about this offensive performance tonight was 328 yards rushing and being able to take the line. I think it was 7:25 or 7:35 that was on the clock and just ended it. I mean, you got to give the credit to the offensive line. Our offensive line was awesome. This team was leading. This is the second week in a row we've played the team leading the league in sacks. Maryland was leading the league in sacks. We got 0 sacks. NC State was leading the league in sacks this week. They got 0 sacks. So, you know, we talk about all these stats and all that stuff and all that. Let me just say, them boys up front and Coach Robbie Caldwell are getting it done. And I just could not be more pleased with the effort that they have put forth in these last couple of weeks against 2 very good defenses. Really, really impressive. Defensively, we really played a good game. We had 3 really boneheaded plays that led to points early. We really gave up 1 touchdown in the second half. Those other 2 touchdowns, one's off a kick return, and the other one is off of an interception. That, you know, we really put them in a bad spot down there in the red zone. But stops on fourth down. The 2 turnovers they got, I thought, was the game changers, the momentum. Both of them led to touchdowns. You know, the sack by Malachi, fumble, the interception by Hall. You know, we dropped a couple of interceptions, but defensively, man, just incredible performance. You know, some tackles for loss. We were able to get some pressure on Glenn. What a good football player he is. Vic Beasley, 3 sacks. Man, you know, he's up there near leading the league now. He's not far off from that record. I'm just really proud of him and what he's been able to accomplish this year, and just seems to keep getting better. I thought field goal block was very good. We blocked another kick. You know, to me, that down, field goal block team, how you play that down, I think, is a measure of your team. The type of effort, the type of energy that you play that down with, I think is a reflection of your team. And we blocked a couple kicks this year because those guys believed that, and they gave tremendous effort. But at this point, hey, we're just going to enjoy the win tonight. Enjoy, you know, this trophy, because it's not easy to get that. And we'll turn the page tomorrow to the next one. I know our guys will be excited about getting back to work. We've got 7 championship days left, and we're going to have to maximize every opportunity to make each day the best that it can be, starting with tomorrow. And you know, start the process that we have every week. It doesn't change. Our formula is exactly the same. This will be the biggest game of the year, and just like this past one was the biggest game of the year, this one's, you know, a little bit more special. And I look forward to competing next week against South Carolina. But tonight we're going to enjoy this one, and you know, really take a moment to reflect on a great ACC season, and get focused on this last week of our season. We'll see where we go from a bowl standpoint after that. With that, I'll take your questions.
Coach, a couple weeks ago you said 19 days left in the season. How does it feel 12 days later?
Well, it feels good because our guys have stayed focused. You know, they really have. This has been a really fun group to coach, and it's a young team, but they've got a resolve to them. I actually, to be honest with you, was kind of glad to see us have a little adversity tonight. We hadn't had a lot of adversity the last couple of weeks, but we had some tonight, and they had to fight through that, and they did. They responded very, very well. You know, turnovers, stops on downs, big plays, fought their way back, you know, on top, and you know, I think that's just that situation does nothing but help the team grow.
Can you expand on that just a little bit? Because obviously with the team coming in next week, they're a little bit better than the teams you guys have played over the last 3 or 4 weeks where you haven't had as much adversity. You think that was good for that to happen, especially given that a top 10 team is going to be in here next week?
Well, you know, listen, this is as good a team as anybody we've played all year. I mean, this is a great team when we play next week, and you know, absolutely, I think that you know, having to handle some adversity helps you grow. And I think our football team grew tonight because they had to respond. In a lot of different areas, and they did that.
Tosh had 103 yards rushing tonight. Is that just the biggest area where he's improved his game from last November to this November? What biggest area he's developed?
I don't think there's any question. I mean, yeah, you know, he's been more consistent in every area of his game. But if I just had to pick one thing, his ability to change the game with his legs has been the difference maker for us this year. Just think about the number of third downs that he's had with his legs, that he's converted with his legs. Whether it's he's had some third and longs, he's had some third and shorts, some fourth downs. You know, this time last year he was close to 240. All right, he's 219. That's what he weighed this past Monday. So just his overall commitment throughout the course of the season has been tremendous, and it's made a difference for him. You know, he's been a guy that's been on a mission. I mean, I've said it several times. I don't think there's anybody playing better than Todd Gordon. I don't think there's anybody leading his team better than number 10 does for us. He's a special player. Wanted to come back in and finish the game. Got the wind knocked out of it. That's just the kind of competitor that he is. So just every week, you know, you just kind of, he did this, he did that. It's unbelievable what he's been able to accomplish. second year as a starter.
For years, Clemson's kind of had the stigma that they're going to lose a game, that they shouldn't. Get 11 games in this season, you guys didn't do that. What does that say the program is right now?
Well, you know, as y'all all know, the local media here, that I said all spring, all summer, all fall camp, I felt like the next step for us as a program was to become a consistent winner and to consistently win. We need to put back-to-back 10-plus win seasons together. We need to be that type of program, back-to-back years when in November you're relevant. Well, I think that it shows that, you know, we're heading in the right direction. Again, we still got a lot of work to do. We want to win them all. You know, there's only going to probably be one undefeated team, if any. You know, but we're certainly, you know, have proven to be one of the better teams in this country. You know, again, our guys have earned that through their play. They've lined up and just played whatever opponent was there that week. They've been focused on the task at hand every week. They've played to a standard every week, and they've found ways to win. And we've improved all year long. So, you know, obviously a huge challenge this week, you know, with a top 10 team coming in here. But we look forward to that. We look forward to the challenge.
What do you want your players to take from all the individual records that have been set, whether they're single game tonight, like Taj's, or Brandon Ford tying the touchdown record for tight end? It goes on and on. What do you want your players to take from the records that have been set or were set today?
Records come and go. You know, I tell these guys all the time, listen, those records are fine, but those things all come and go. You know, Danzler, when he was here, I'm sure that record, everybody thought that record would never be broken. Well, here comes old funky Taj Boyd along, and he broke his record tonight. If you saw Taj run last year, you probably wouldn't have thought he'd have been able to go over 100 yards rushing. And, you know, but these things right here, those things to me are the measure of the program. The consistency in winning, you know, the division titles, the ACC championships, those are things that to me are more important because it's about the team. And our guys, they understand that, and we celebrate things that the guys have gotten done individually. You know, the biggest thing is the best of the best are always striving to get better. And I think we came up 2 yards short for all-time school record tonight. So, hey, we got some improvement to do. You know, there's a lot out there for this group. And that's just been their mentality. We're not satisfied. You know, we try to stay humble. We try to stay hungry. And just continue to focus on the things that we control. And that starts with our preparation. It's how we prepare each and every day. We just try to you know, approach it that way each week. And our guys, again, have been very mature about that. So that's really it.
Dabo, it's the first time in several years that neither Clemson or South Carolina have a championship game. One of the teams don't have a championship game to play the next week. Is they going to add a little more juice to next week's game?
I don't know how you can add any more juice to the game. I mean, this is a huge game. It's a huge game. It's state pride on the line, and it's important to every person. It's probably even important to the people who aren't even fans of either team that live in the state, just because they got to put up with the people who live in the state. So it's I don't know how you can add any more to it. Probably the biggest thing is that maybe makes it bigger is it should be a more national game than it's probably ever been around here, because of what we've done as a program the last few years and what they've done. Listen, they've been outstanding. I mean, hey, we have not played good against those guys. You know, they've beaten a lot of teams. They've been an outstanding program the last few years. So, and so have we. And so, if nothing else, you know, it might have a little bit more national relevance outside of the state. You know, we've got 2 top 10 type teams in the same state battling it out for state pride. I think that's pretty special. I don't know how many times that's happened in this. Has that ever happened?
Yeah, 87 is 8 versus 12, so there's never been 2 top 10s, but there's been 2 top 12s.
There you go. That happens very often.
Coach, do you guys discuss with the players the BCS game on the line, anything like that, with one more win? I mean, one more win, you guys are potentially in a Sugar Bowl matchup. Do you guys talk about that at all, or is this week maybe you now start to talk about that kind of stuff?
You know, I think when you hit November, you know, every few weeks, I think you have to take the opportunity to kind of refocus. And we try to do that as a position group, as a team, as a whole. And you know, I think when you hit November and that stuff starts kind of mattering, and these guys don't live in a cave. So I think it's foolish to not at least take a step back every now and then and say, okay, here's the big picture. Let's refocus. Here's our opportunity, yada, 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 yada. But then let's zoom focus on the task at hand, because if you don't, none of that matters. It's not even worth talking about. But I think, you know, from time to time when you're dealing with young people, you need to step back and say, here's the big picture. Because your head's down, you're grinding. Here's the big picture, kind of refocus, recharge, and let's zoom focus on this task so that we have an opportunity to stay on course to be the best that we can be. And so yeah, we you know, they certainly understand that you know, this time of year there's a lot of eyes on you. You know, this is where we want to be. We want to be a top 10 team. And last year we were a top 10. Last year we were 9-1, just like we were going into this very game. Going into NC State, we were 9-1, top 10, fat and happy. Well, guess what? We weren't a top 10 team, but we proved it. We proved it. We were a good team. We were a really good team. Ain't many teams out there do what we did last year. We were a really good team, but we weren't a top 10 team. You know, and right now we're 10-1. We're top 10, and if we're a top 10 team, we'll prove that out. You know, so I mean, that air's thin up there now. Everybody wants to be a top 10, top 5 program. There's only one out of 125 win it. You know, again, we're trying to be the best that we can be. It doesn't look like we're going to have a chance to win the championship, the national championship this year, but we're a step closer. And so we're trying to be one of those elite programs. And if we are one of those elite programs, we're going to finish strong. If we're not, then we'll find that out. And we'll reload, refocus, and get back at it.
Like the Bray one when he went down.
Yeah, like he pulled his groin. I think he was the only one that had to come out. Nobody else was able to finish the game.
Tosh took a hit at the end there.
Knocked his breath out.
Knocked his breath out.
He came back.
How is it to have somebody like CJ on the sidelines, crowd going crazy, for recruiting, to let the current football players know if you do well when you leave here, you won't be forgotten. You'll still be welcome.
It was awesome. Our crowd was awesome. Our fans were awesome. Again, I apologize to them. We kind of sucked the energy out of them there for a little while, and, but thankfully they were able to, you know, rally back behind us. And, you know, but I tell you, it was CJ. I don't know what part of the game it was, but there was somewhere, it was a timeout or something. All of a sudden, the crowd just goes crazy. It's just neat to be able to see him. You know, Ray Lewis spoke to our team this morning. Ray Lewis flew in here, spoke to our team, and I surprised our team. They were kind of blown away by that when he stepped out from behind the screen. He spoke to our team for about 20 minutes or so and just did an incredible job. I mean, it's just incredible, the words that he had for our players. And CJ was there as well. And then CJ rode the bus over and led the Tiger Walk. And, you know, coming in was pretty special because we were sitting together. And about the time when we hit campus and we were coming around up there on Cherry, getting ready to take a ride on perimeter, he just kind of, you know, this guy leading the NFL in yard, you know, rushing right now, yards per carry. And he leaned over and he goes, man, this right here, now this is what you miss right here. That's pretty special. And that's a compliment to our fans and just Clemson as a whole and how this place embraces game day. You know, because he was talking about just the pageantry, the tailgating, all the fans, all these things. You pull it up, there's the Tiger Walk. I mean, it was pretty neat, you know, to hear him, you know, say that. And it was a pretty special moment. It was neat to be able to see the crowd go crazy when he got off the bus. We kind of kept that under wraps. That's always good when he comes back home here. And he represents our program in such a class way, as do all of our guys. You know, we've got a tremendous amount of guys that have come out of this program in the last 4 years that that are being great ambassadors for Clemson. And I think a big reason for that is because they enjoyed their experience here. They're comfortable here and they like coming back. So that was great.
Dad, if you knock on South Carolina, have you earned a BCS bowl bid in your mind? Have you earned the Sugar Bowl or BCS?
Yeah, no question. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.